Welcome to a video about writing. I am seeing a lack of paragraph structure in writing across grade levels, so I thought I would make a quick video just kind of talking about the different parts of paragraph writing. Evidence, every paragraph needs to have evidence and Socratic seminar. So I'm going to highlight evidence in yellow, analysis in blue, and transition words in green. And this is how I used to do it back in the day. And including in transition words, I'm going to include transition phrases. So when you're making an argument, it's more than obvious that, you know, when you're kind of like making a point, like, oh, it's so clear that, and then blah, 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 blah. You have your topic sentence. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to identify all of my transition words and phrases first. And I'm having a hard time finding it. Sorry. Okay, so thankfully, that's hilarious. I don't have many transition words and phrases in this paragraph, but maybe I'll find them if I go through and identify my evidence. So this is the topic sentence. Yes, this is your argument, the first sentence. And you can integrate a quote. So the quote is in the middle of a sentence, right? So you don't need to have like just one big old quote. You can introduce it and just have a part of the quote and paraphrase the rest of it, the quote. And then you have elaboration, which is your thoughts. So elaboration follows where you explain how the quote connects to your argument. And then you introduce the quote. So here I'm saying the character believes that, and then I quote the character, and then look at all of this elaboration, right? So this is like what we struggle with as writers the most, is really elaborating on why we're using a piece of evidence. What I'm finding is students aren't using evidence at all, right? They're kind of like, if the text is a movie, a child isn't really using the text of the movie at all, right? Because it means you got to watch the movie. If you don't want to use the text of the book because you don't want to read the book, that's the problem. And because of that, because we're not watching movies related to academic ideas or quotes, we have less ideas, right? So we want to expand our ideas. Evidence can be a fact. You want to avoid that, like if you can use a quote, but here I have a fact and then a lot of elaboration. Okay, this is all elaboration, right? So elaboration or an analysis, that's what you think about the quote, right? And then that's when you're connecting it back to the topic sentence. Okay, here, I'm going to actually add this to this assignment. I have a personal connection. So you can have a personal connection to an idea, you know, in a Socratic seminar. Like that's fine, but make sure that you start with the text first. And then this is all personal connection. Down at the bottom, tying back to a quote. You always want to loop it back to the topic sentence. So I'm bringing it back to the evidence, like what we're talking about. And then this is a concluding sentence that brings it back to my topic sentence, right? Paragraph writing is hard and it takes a long time. I would say that this, through the writing of the novel, that is also a transition word and phrase. Let me just look for more. I have to have more transition words and phrases in here. I mean, I would say it helps us to understand that would be a transition word and phrase. Anything that links ideas, believes that, you know, believes that or says that, introduces a quote. Looking for transition words and phrases. Okay. Ooh, here's one. So transition words and phrases, I feel like we need to work on teaching sentence structure, teachers in general, but fear on the other hand. So transition words and phrases can be in the middle of a sentence, right? Instead of saying, on the other hand, fear was strangely a positive motivator for me, you could say, fear, on the other hand, was strangely a positive. Fear, therefore, right? So you see that I'm using transition words and phrases in the middle, like after my subject and before my verb. So they're kind of hidden. But is a transition phrase, right? So where you're pivoting to another idea. However, I'm understanding how I do know is a function of my life. Step. Okay, my next steps. Like saying my next steps, that could be a transition words or phrase. Would be to, could be a transition phrase. And I don't know how many of my students are going to watch this, but it's driving me crazy. Jonathan Larson is obviously teaches the most dangerous, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here we go. Here's a transition word and phrase. On the other hand, you could also say however. There's no monster, just a beautiful day. That is a quote. So you can see paragraphs don't have to all be quotes and facts, right? And then this is the topic sentence, right? So now we're talking about the concept of love. Paragraph 1, talking about the concept of fear and how fear is defined through Rent and Tick, Tick, Boom. For this assignment, this is an example from another novel, obviously, because we don't want to give away all the ideas. The pandemic has made it more than obvious. Oh, I overuse this. More than obvious, right, is a good transition word and phrase. Calm down, email. Okay, that great transition word and phrase before introducing a quote. Repetition of the line. You could say that's a transition word and phrase. Helps us to understand that. I'm overusing this phrase, but you could say conveys the idea that, in the movie Tick, Tick, Boom, Jonathan Larson's choice to sing the song "Cages Are Wings" helps us to understand the notion that, right? That would be introducing a quote. Profound love is demonstrated through courage. Okay, so all this is elaboration, right? And opinion, right? So this character is the personification of love. That's my opinion. That's not a fact. Evidence is a fact, right? So anything that is factual is a fact. So here, when I have my personal reflection, I'm understanding throughout college, I was so afraid, blah, 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 right? So if you're talking about yourself, like in college essays or something, fact, right? So personal narrative can also have fact, opinion, fact, elaboration, fact, elaboration. So now I'm explaining the fact. Right? Jonathan Larson is teaching us that blah, 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 blah. Hopefully I'm not giving too many ideas to my students in my class there. Right? But this is all opinion, right? So yes, I'm using the purple as my personal life and elaboration, and these are all facts in my personal life, right? I have quotes from a book up here, right? But I always have yellow as fact, and then the warm colors are facts, the cool colors are opinions, green transition words. Take off and fly would be a quote. Yeah, that is evidence. So you could see how it should be like fact, opinion, and then you have transition words kind of linking things together. And I think there are more in there. So topic sentence, concluding sentence at the end. Why am I filming this video? Because I used to take apart models and exemplars in class, but I just don't have the time as an art and drama teacher. So hopefully you guys watch this. Helps us to understand that profound love is demonstrated. This is all opinion, right? That's not a fact, right? But this is what I'm getting out of the different texts that I'm synthesizing. Love is okay. So this is me introducing a quote from a text, right? But the quote is right there, right? But I'm introducing it. questions. Yep. And then this is actually a fact from the book. And look, I'm just taking a couple of words, right? I don't have to quote everything, but my elaboration shows that I read and I saw the movie. Okay, so this is a fact. This happened in the book. So even though I'm not using a quote, it's a fact. And then opinion, opinion, opinion. So my second paragraph is shorter. Don't take off points. Brevity is the soul of wit. Okay, and then here I have my personal connection. Right? Which I think is more than fine to do in an art and drama class because we are discovering ourselves. That's why, because do I have any facts from my life? I believe that those okay, this is a fact. Or you could say that it's an opinion. It gets tricky. If you're a really good writer, some of your opinions sound like facts. And people are like, wow, I believe them. Like some politicians, they talk with such confidence that you think they're speaking facts, but it's really opinion. The world would be better if we created like Jonathan Larson. So this is an assignment in... Here, I'm going to add this key down here. This is an assignment in my advanced drama and AP art class to just kind of explore like two different juxtaposing concepts. Okay, drama is focusing more on fear versus love. AP art, it's going to be more open-ended based on their inquiry question. But you want to be able to define the concepts that you're exploring. And through that, hopefully more ideas will emerge about art and your acting or just your life, right, in general. Okay, but so the assignment is, right, to define fear and define love with Tick, Tick, Boom and the movie Rent, if you're in my class. I hope this helps. Talk to me if you need help with your writing, because I know you do. Bye.